Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces water signs. Your vibes, you've got absolutes. So absolute speaks about your way of thinking and also the way that you speak, okay, in a black and white kind of way. Okay, it's this or that. It's all or nothing. There are no gray areas, when in fact the gray area is your friend, water sign. The gray area is the fluid area where you can work yourself into exactly what you want. But sometimes we pigeonhole ourselves into what we don't want because of the incessant thoughts that we have or the ways that we speak about things. And a lot of times these link down to belief constructs that we hold within our systems that are kind of wrinkling our manifestations. Okay, so absolutes indicates to stay away from words like always and never, and feelings of always and never, and thoughts of always and never. Okay, so for instance, I want to be happy, okay, but then I might have this thought in my mind like, I'm never happy, man, nothing ever makes me happy, right? So that is an absolute. Nothing ever is an absolute. So that means nothing at all. So if you can find the absolute and you can find that one anomaly, then it's not an always or a never, then it's an rarely or an often. Okay, and then maybe from rarely or often, you're manifesting into a scenario of sometimes, okay, into a direction of, then it's going in the direction of your choosing, right? So spirit is calling you to recognize when you are just looking in a black and white, there is no gray area, you're all bad and I'm all good, or this must be this way or that way. Sometimes that gray area is what your friend is, okay? Water sign. Not everything is so cut and dry. Now, what's going on? You've got the three of intentions behind a mask. So I can feel how water signs might feel like all that black and white, this and that, it's going on behind the scenes, and you're quite composed. Not many people may know about the kinds of fears and doubts that you have. Okay, I can feel how some water signs might exude a very confident and competent image and reputation. But inside yourself, you're kind of black and white in there, kind of a train wreck, okay? A little pessimistic, a little bit optimistic, then, back and forth. I feel some ping pong ball stuff going on in there for the water signs. It's a little bit confusing here. Like you really want something, but then you have this doubt that creeps in and you'd be like, it's not going to work out. I knew it, right? And when we go, it's not going to work out. I knew it. So did you manifest that not working out because you knew it? Or, I mean, really, that's kind of what I feel here for the water sign. So not to keep those just in case things in your back pocket. See, I knew it wasn't going to work out. Those things that we keep in the back of our mind, like, this ain't going to work, man. I just know it ain't going to work, but we'll see. We'll see. And then it doesn't. And we go, I knew it wasn't. So why'd you get involved? If you knew and you listened to your intuition, then you wouldn't be in this scenario. However, to kick yourself later and be like, yeah, I knew that, negates the manifestation that you were trying to create when you wanted it to work out. Okay. Can you understand me here? So no more of that. I can feel how it makes you feel somewhat powerful to know that that was going to turn out that way. However, you're also kind of sealing the deal with your own doubt. You're reinforcing it. Do you understand? You're reinforcing that outcome by, I knew it anyway. So behind this mask for the water signs, there's a whole heck of a lot of stuff going on inside of you. Okay. And you don't necessarily share all of that with others. You've got, I feel like a lot of emotions rolling around within the water signs. And some of this is fresh and new, and some of this is old and just churning up to the surface. And I want to say that you're holding yourself together. Okay. But I feel how you're changing and you're losing patience with the superficial. You're losing patience with people who don't respect your boundaries. And I can feel how you may even be somewhat bored, dissatisfied by the regular life that you've been living for so long that always worked. Okay, so behind this mask, there's a whole heck of a lot going on with the water signs. And I can feel how it's contradictory here. But wait, I've always been this way. How come I have a problem now? Or, but wait, I've always felt this way, but now I'm yearning to do different things, or switch career paths, or do something different with my time, with my life. I even feel for some water signs, you want to Do something different with your time, but you're not pulling away from the same old routines and allowing yourself the independence and freedom to do that. And that could even just be a little hobby, a little craft, something you do at the kitchen table while people are watching TV or whatever, but you won't allow yourself that because you're hiding behind the mask of what everyone else does. Water sign, this is going to keep weighing on you until you start bringing all that authenticity through in a real way and embodying who you really are, not just sometimes, not just when it looks nice, not just when it's appropriate. Additional factor here, you've got happiness. And the water signs have all the water, and the dolphins also. I am aware that being happy means I am on the right path. Wow. Are you aware of this? This is speaking about your inner compass. And this behind the mask, it really tells me, like, are you really happy? Like, are you really happy, or are you putting on a mask of happiness or a mask of, it's almost like I'm just going to go along. Okay. I'm wearing this mask of I'll go along with whatever this is, but I don't feel it. You know what I mean? I don't really feel it. I don't feel this in my soul. So I'm aware that being happy means I'm on the right path. So when are you happy? Are you plugging in experiences that help you to feel happy on the regular just because you fucking deserve it? Water sign. You have happiness within you. There are only things that get in the way of embodying and feeling that true happiness, right? It's there. It's always there, but there are things that can shroud it. And sometimes it's that black and white way of thinking. Life sucks. It's too hard. So now I'm not happy. Oh, the bills are behind. I'm irresponsible. I can't be happy if that's how this is, right? Spirit is saying to place your happiness in some elusive scenario that's outside of what you have going on is robbing yourself, because you can be happy and have problems. You can be happy and have stress. You can be happy and be authentic, and people can take you or they can leave you. And that doesn't have to affect your happiness either. Your happiness is yours, and you get to embody it, or you can prevent yourself from embodying it. Now, when you embody your highest vibrational frequency, i.e. happiness, love, joy, those kinds of things, that opens you up to receive more experiences that are energetically resonant to that beautiful high vibe feeling that you are broadcasting like a signal out into the world. When you decide to sit in these absolute frames of being, life sucks, today's too hard, I hate everything, I hate everyone. When we sit in these energies, then you're not inviting in the life that you desire. You're settling for the emotions that have you wrapped up. And that manifests more experiences to validate those in the future. I'm sorry. The more you sit in the energy, the more the energy just comes to you. Okay, let's get here with Cancer now. Cancer, the card that you have, which I really felt from these, I got chills right now. I really felt such a similar vibe. And I almost like, these look like the same card to me. Surrender worry. Make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. I'm sorry, Cancer, this is you not being able to speak up about the anxiety that you have, the worries that you have, keeping it all inside until it finally explodes or keeps you sick, down in the dumps because you're so worried, but you don't want to talk about it because you don't want others to worry either. So you just carry it and it's heavy. Surrender worry. Make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that Spirit is guiding you always. Don't those look almost like the same card there? Behind the mask, you might look real dolled up and put together here, but there's a lot of worry going on inside. And Spirit is saying to breathe those worries out of your body and out of your auric field with intention. Okay, so for instance, I'm worried about my finances. I'm worried about my boyfriend. I'm worried about my physical health. Okay, whatever these things are, take a deep breath. Blow them out of your auric field, because you can't change them by incessantly worrying about them. In fact, when we incessantly worry about things, that creates an emotional charge. It begins to gain momentum, become more potent, and potentially manifest as that result, the result that we didn't want because we placed too much focus on it. It's a choice. It's a choice to allow yourself to get caught up in the anxiety, to get caught up in the worry. It may still come to you, but you can combat it. You can breathe deeply, relax, affirm your safety, your comfort, your aliveness. Okay, I'm alive. All right. I'm breathing, I'm alive, I'm not bleeding. You can affirm your stability in whatever way is necessary to appease your scenario. Okay, and breathe deeply and slowly every time. And if you're able to calm and move through that and shift your focus and do something different, and then here it comes again, it's up to you as the grown-up adult person who's living in your body, who has to deal with that at this moment, to take care of it again and take care of it again and take care of it again until you have used your own intentional focus and awareness to smooth that energy pattern out and keep it at bay. Scorpio, you got surrender, frustration. Like Virgo. Okay, I feel you. Scorpio, frustration doesn't open any doors. The keys to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so that you may approach the situation more calmly. So, Scorpio, if you need to step away to the restroom for a couple of minutes to breathe deeply and allow yourself to surrender that frustration and step back into whatever it is that may be necessary, Spirit is also wanting me to say that there's a certain aspect of neutrality or objectivity in which you can view the scenario to be less frustrated. Okay, if you can recognize that we're all human beings who are living a life, and some life paths go certain ways, and that not everything, and maybe potentially not any of this, is a personal insult or affront to you, Scorpio. I can feel how Scorpio may get frustrated with other people's actions, other people's reactions, other people's immaturity, even. And Spirit is calling you to just say, hey, that's a whole nother person. That's a whole other person who just is the way that they are, and I'm the way that I am. And it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with anybody. Just having a bit of grace around that. I feel how taking the personal insult away from it, if it's not there, is important for Scorpio also this week, so that you won't feel so frustrated. Because sometimes when things get on our nerves, then we were like, you're doing that on purpose, aren't you? You're trying to piss me off. Is that what this is? I can feel how that might be there. And Spirit is saying, when you're already feeling some kind of way, all right, you're predisposed to the frustration. Therefore, you may perceive that it's personal against you. However, recognize that that person is just doing their own thing, may not even have you in their mind at all. And let it be what it is, instead of this big personal thing between you and them. That's kind of what I feel here for Scorpio. Giving grace to others, because we're all flawed human beings and we're only doing our best, you know? Pisces, surrender to inner peace. Love this. Cultivate inner peace on a daily basis. In quiet, meditative moments, focus on the stillness within and enjoy this inner refuge. Others will feel your good vibes too, and your life will flow more easily. So, Pisces, I feel how Spirit is calling you to leap into the directions of your choosing as your day, your schedule permits. That inner peace is necessary, but how you find it is up to you. Okay, because some of us can cultivate that inner peace by meditating, okay, or going into prayer, and maybe that's right for right now, but maybe tomorrow it's something a little bit different. So, Pisces, Spirit is calling you to kind of unpack your toolbox and start using some of the different tools that you have to change your state of being to an inner posture of peacefulness. You can cultivate that inner peace through your awareness and the actions that you take, like putting on music, maybe going for a walk, having a bubble bath. Like, these are different ways to plug it into your regular schedule or routine, and that anchors in that high vibe frequency more fully. Okay, you're able to embody that frequency more deeply and then attract those things that you want into your life, Pisces. I also feel something about a routine that is familiar to you. Maybe like, oh, I wake up in the morning and I have my coffee, I turn on my music, I dance around for a while, and then I go sit down and read my book or whatever this is. Like, I feel how there are certain things at certain times of the day that help you to be in the flow of your life and be more productive and feel better. Pisces, it's up to you as the person who's in your body and living this way to implement those things so that you can keep yourself as high vibe as possible. You're doing great, but paying more care and attention to your own schedule and your own needs and your own detail is going to take you to the next level. And that is what I have for the water signs. Thank you, water signs.